The Philippine Merchant Marine Academy is the premier maritime institution of the Philippines. Its graduates, well known for being highly trained not only in academics, but most especially in leadership and discipline, are highly sought after by shipping companies. But what does it actually take to mold these men and women into becoming the leaders of this highly competitive industry? The answer to that is quite complicated and might be impossible to explain entirely. But as with all complex things, it all begins with a solid foundation. It's early in the morning. The quarterdeck aide has just been ordered to signal reveille. At the sound of the 3 whistle blasts, the cadets are awakened from their sleep. They have 5 minutes to fix their bunks, perform personal necessities, and shift to their athletic uniforms. Two whistles mean standby. At this point, they will have to stand at attention along the alleyway. This is in preparation for the final blast of the whistle, the call to formation.
Outward! Face! Arms centros! Move! Overlord! March!
On the formation ground, morning muster is carried out. This is done to account for the whereabouts of all hands and to ensure that no one is missing. As soon as everyone is accounted for, the cadets proceed to the next routine, the calisthenics and road run.
Up! Down! Up!
Physical fitness is an important requirement for shipboard duty, which is why physical exercise is done every day in order to ensure that PMMA cadets are all physically fit and ready to be deployed on board a ship without any issue in their pre-embarkation medical exams. The exercises are composed of the standard Navy dozen, as well as 5 rounds of running, which is equivalent to a total distance of about 4 kilometers. After the morning exercise, a brief period is given for cleaning stations and personal hygiene before the cadets go for morning mess. After breakfast, they are given a few minutes to prepare for morning colors. Patriotism is one of the major qualities which the Academy inculcates in the cadets. One simple way of doing this is by paying respect to the Philippine flag. After morning colors and the changing over of the watch, the cadets proceed to the academic buildings for classroom instructions. Academics take up most of the cadets' time. This is the period when they acquire the knowledge and skills necessary for their future profession. PMMA is well equipped with various modern training equipment and simulators, and retains a faculty with highly experienced master mariners and chief engineers. The morning session knocks off at 11:45 hours to give way for noon mess. After lunch, the cadets go back to the academic buildings and resume classroom instructions. The cadets are also encouraged to visit the library, which is stocked with a vast array of reference materials as well as internet access to aid them in research and be updated with the latest trends in the maritime field. Military training is also conducted by the Department of Naval Science and Tactics, as PMMA cadets are required to be commissioned as reserve officers in the Philippine Navy upon graduation. The maritime profession, whether in the merchant marine, coast guard, or navy, involves a lot of physical work in conjunction with the theoretical aspects. Therefore, it is very important to develop both the theoretical and practical skills necessary for their future careers, whether it's in the private sector or in the armed services. At 1700 hours, the cadets assemble at the formation ground for evening colors. And immediately after that, they proceed to the mess hall for evening mess.
First class certificate, sir! MAKOi laboratory! Yes, permission to drink some water, sir!
Cleaning stations commence directly after dinner. The cadets themselves are responsible for maintaining the cleanliness in their respective quarters. This situation is no different from the arrangement on board ships, wherein the crew is responsible for keeping the ship clean and ensure that it is ready for inspection at all times. In addition, this is also the time for personal hygiene and also for attending to extracurricular activities. At 18:45 hours, evening muster is conducted, after which the order for study call is given. This period is dedicated strictly for studying, reviewing, doing homeworks, and all other academic-related activities. Study call ends at 2100 hours, at which point the cadets prepare for last muster. After each and every cadet's whereabouts is accounted for, the order for tattoo is given. At which time, the cadets return to their respective quarters and prepare for lights out. At 21:45 hours, after the watchkeepers have confirmed that all is well in the quarters, the order for taps is given, which signals the end of another day. What you have seen is just a typical day in the life of PMMA cadets. It is regimented, but it is no different from a shipboard environment where schedules and routines are basically a way of life. By implementing this style of training, PMMA stays true to its primary objective: to provide the Philippine Merchant Marine with efficient and well-trained Marine officers capable of meeting the needs of an ever-expanding foreign and coastwise trade, and competent to serve as naval officers in time of war and national emergency. A regimented daily routine is just one way in which the Academy prepares cadets for a life at sea. Because seafaring is not just all about academics. It is a way of life which only those who are intellectually, emotionally, and physically fit can ever hope to thrive in.
The cadets of PMMA are on the way.